Hi, I want to talk about how to manage long distance relationships successfully. A long distance relationship can be in three parts. It can be your partner living with the parents, and therefore the person is not accessible all the time. It could be that your partner is living in another region or state of the same country, or it could be that your partner is living in a different country altogether. Long distance relationships are fraught with problems, but they can be managed successfully to the happiness of both partners. The first problem I want to talk about in long distance relationship and how to overcome them is communication breakdown. Once there's a communication breakdown, it opens a gap for strangers to come into your relationship and implode it. Communication breakdown also leads to loneliness. And once partners begin to feel lonely, eventually they will want to take care of that loneliness through another person. So how do you solve this? How to solve this problem is to, number one, schedule video calls. Have a FaceTime together. The world we are living in now, the social media world, you can be communicating with somebody on phone and you might not see the person in 1 year and you think the person is next door. So it's important to schedule regular video calls. Have that FaceTime. When you have that FaceTime, don't use the time for quarreling. Use the time to catch up on things that are interesting in each other's life. It's a time for you to get together. So don't spend that time fighting and quarreling. Another way to beat communication breakdown is to call each other regularly. Show you miss the person. Just show it by the calls that you make. Another way is to send messages. Send a message that will make your partner think about you for the whole day. Be creative. The second problem in long distance relationship is the issue of trust. You just can't run away from it. The devil does things in shadows. Don't let anybody hear about it. Don't let anybody know. That's how the devil works. But if you want to get over trust issues, you have to do exactly the opposite. Be honest and open in all you are doing. Tell all, say everything. The people you meet, what they said to you, tell him or her everything, even if it seems irrelevant. Say it. That's one sure way of overcoming trust issues. The third thing I want to talk about is a feeling of being disconnected. This usually happens to the partner that moved to another place and is trying to settle down. Settling down may be hard. To overcome this, you may need to be sharing with each other your daily experiences. Develop the habits of regular phone calls. Call each other regularly. You won't know how important these calls are until you get one. You might also send gifts. Gifts are exciting. Everybody wants gifts. Send surprise gifts. It helps to calm your partner down and to be top of mind all the time. Generally, just check on each other, have each other's back. This shows that you are thinking of each other. You are in each other's minds all the time. It's very, very important for those who are in a long distance relationship. The fourth problem is if partners live in two different time zones. You must find a balance and determine the best time that you and your partner can talk. Look, it might be awake when you are sleeping. The good thing is that both of you are not awake all the time or asleep all the time. So you can actually find a time that you can talk to each other. Find that time for the sake of the health of your relationship. It could be very irritating if a partner that is awake is calling the other partner that is deep in sleep. Eventually it will become irritating and will become disruptive, of that partner's life. You don't sleep well, you become irritable and all that. So finding a balance is actually very, very important for the survival of that long distance relationship. So therefore, agree on the best calling hours. The fifth problem is lack of physical intimacy. This is especially hard for partners who have had physical intimacy before. It is hard. The solution is to schedule visits, physical visits, whenever it is possible. It's priority. Some partners can even schedule video calls where they do stuff for each other. Whatever works for you, do it to keep that fire burning. If physical visits is scheduled and it takes place, use that time for that purpose and be seated doing that physical activity. Catching up on small talks and what has happened in each other's life becomes secondary. When it's time for that physical activity, do it and do it very well. The sixth problem in long distance relationship is the feeling of insecurity, jealousy, and fear. Don't belittle those feelings in your partner. They are real, very real, and they are serious. It is because they value you and they are afraid of losing you. That's why they are insecure. That's why they are jealous. So do all you can to allay your partner's fears and concerns. Forever be communicating, talking to each other, and expressing your love and affection for each other. It helps a great deal. The seventh problem is feeling alone. It's inevitable, and partners must come to terms with it and deal with it pragmatically. One of the ways in which you can deal with this is to always reach out to your own network of support. It might be your family, your friends, or old classmates. You might also take up a hobby that improves your mental and physical self-worth, your mental and physical state of mind, your mental and physical body. It distracts from your loneliness, from your feeling alone and being lonely. Another way to beat this feeling of being alone, this loneliness, is to have shared goals. Can you create a project that two of you can be working upon, which will keep you in communication with each other? Something that will keep you talking. You have a project, both of you are working at it, and you are communicating all the time. It helps to beat that feeling of loneliness. Another problem of long distance relationship is financial stress. It's inevitable. When a partner moves away from the nest, and has to find accommodation elsewhere, it could actually stress the finance of the couple. The best way to deal with this financial stress is to frankly and pragmatically discuss it. You may need to rejig your budget. Find ways to cut down on costs so that you can continue to enjoy your financial level before the separation took place. It's very important. You have to take a knife to your budgeting so that both of you can be very happy. Finally, I want to talk about the last point: how to beat and triumph over the stress, the problems of long distance relationship. Count down until you meet. Be creative. Make it memorable. Say you are physically meeting in 10 days' time. What are you going to say or do to each other from day 1 to day 10? Mischievously plan it and keep your partner ready to climb the wall. And when you finally meet, I won't tell you what to do. Remember to like this video, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.